Hi there. We are in the middle of our Soul Detox series at Every Nation Church London here in our Hammersmith congregation. We have been doing this because we are not just a body, we are a soul with a body, and very often it does not go well with us. It doesn't go well even with our bodies sometimes because things are not going well with our soul. And we've been doing a detox, looking at different areas where God can bring wholeness and restoration and help us to go well with our soul so that it goes well with us. Last week our topic was the wounded soul. The wounded soul. And I think the truth is, if we're honest, all of us carry some things around, some of them recent, sometimes have been going on had them for many years, but things that affect us, things that wounded us, broken hearts, broken dreams, broken relationships, things that didn't work out like we expected. And we carry wounds around, and we need to find healing and wholeness. We need a detox in those areas because sometimes those wounds can become toxic, can become septic, they can fester, and they can produce toxic responses and even toxic emotions, and things don't go well in our lives, in our marriages, in our workplaces because we've got wounds that have never been healed. You know, the great promise of Scripture from the life of Jesus, as he began his ministry, he went into the temple and he read a prophecy in Isaiah that he said today was fulfilled in his hearing, talking about himself. But he said, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom to the captives, and declare the year of the Lord's favour." You know, central to the promise of the gospel is a promise of healing, is a promise of wholeheartedness that comes through Jesus. So I want to encourage you today that no matter how long you've been carrying things that have hurt you, there is hope and healing for your wounded soul in Jesus. He is the one, he is the only one that binds up the brokenhearted. He is the one that brings freedom to the captives. No matter what your experience has been so far, no matter what the things that have held you back and you couldn't get free of, he is the one that brings freedom to the captives. So I want to encourage you today, believe that there is healing and there is hope for any wounds that you carry. And finally, how can we experience this in daily life? Well, obviously we need to believe this is possible, and we need to receive it from Jesus. We can look at so many places, we can turn to so many things. Sometimes we can pour out our wounds to so many people, but the one person who can bring healing and wholeness in this area is Jesus. So we need to turn to him and believe and receive his healing. And practically daily, one thing that helps us walk in this is to renew our minds with his truth and his promises. We live in a world with an onslaught of messages. They want to keep you trapped. They want to tell you that there is no hope, there is no healing, and it gives you even answers which don't work out. But in Jesus, we find promises that will change us. Romans says, "Do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." There is transformation for you available. Not just conforming, not just managing, not just coping. There is transformation available to you by the renewing of your mind. As you renew your mind on the promises of Jesus, as you meditate on all he's done and all he promises that he will do, as you seek him, then you will find healing and hope for your wounded soul. Be blessed. I want to encourage you, if there are some areas you want to talk about further, come and just ask some friends, ask some people, come along to a service, get somebody to pray for you, and we trust that we will find healing for those wounds. And finally, don't miss this coming week. I'm going to be preaching on the troubled soul, talking about anxieties and worries and how we can be free of those so that it might go well with us as it goes well with our soul. Be blessed, and I'll see you soon.